So this journey 2020 seemed like it was an arbitrary date. 2020, the journey's there, we've reached our technological advancement and we're home and hosed. And surprisingly, it was quite prescient, this journey, as in we have arrived there. There's been this massive pandemic which has changed the world as we know it, and technology is featuring in that hugely. And this is what's called a pattern interrupt in, that behavioral psychologist terminology, the neuro-linguistic terminology, which is something is thrown into the mix that changes up what you're used to in that daily routine, and it's a good way of affecting change, usually as a tool for the positive. So making those incremental changes. Whereas this has just been a change by pulling the world as we know it, pulling that rug from underneath us. And we're all just having to kind of pick up those pieces and figure out what's going on. As far as businesses go, those businesses that have been on this journey with technology and the digital kind of journey have been much better placed to hit that ground running. But those ones who have been dragging their feet, it's really made them catch up really quickly. As if change wasn't being affected enough in this world, this is kind of just kick-started it like a rocket into the next sphere. And businesses' service offerings are having to change. Some businesses aren't even allowed in social isolation, aren't even operable, but some businesses won't be there at the other side of this, and some service offerings will be entirely different. So we're in this new order, world order on that macro level. It's been foisted upon us quicker than we thought. But what about that micro level too? So this pattern interrupt of our daily routines of being entertained, being busy, has been pulled from under us too. And so we've had time to reflect on what's important to us in those relationships and, seeing those loved ones. And perhaps questioning, well, what's important to me? Is consuming all this stuff the most important thing in the world? Is being busy the most important thing in the world? How good is just being able to have a bit of time to enjoy life? And maybe for some people, something might be lacking. If it's just work and you've got nothing else, well, perhaps you need a few life rebalancing kind of acts. And this is a bit of a punch in the awareness for that. I've found with our team members, a lot of them have a new appreciation for work and those kind of challenges and that social interaction. So, there's some really good things that are coming from this too. But I guess this is a moment, be thankful that we've got time to reflect and an opportunity to what they're calling pivot at the moment, and not just pivot like pin the tail on the donkey and blindly go in another direction, but we can contemplate and perhaps choose that direction, open up the door, open up that pathway, and these moments of clarity and consciousness, we can, forge a new kind of future ahead. And we're so lucky that we've got all these tools, all these technologies, and we're in a fairly rich world that we've got an abundance of choice, and it's up to us what that world for each and every one of us and each and every business, how we're adapting to that and what that looks like. So there's so much kind of opportunity out of this tragic and terrible kind of circumstance foisted upon us. And that journey 2020 is that real mark. So please let me know your experience. Join this conversation. It's a really, really important conversation to have.